So dear friends, let's begin with the chapter number 5, last chapter of this particular syllabus. The title of this chapter is Applications of Electromagnetic Waves. So let me write the name of the chapter. It is Applications of Electromagnetic Waves. I think this is also not perfect black. प्रयत्न करून घेऊया. Applications of the electromagnetic waves. So let's see what are the applications we are going to look here is this. First we are going to see number 1, that is microwave oven. This is my first application. First thing we are going to discuss, or the instrument or the device which uses these type of things we are going to discuss. Number 2, second is called as radar. Spelling of this is R-A-D-A-R, capital. This is radar. We have seen already this radar has lot many applications in communication. Basically on airports this type of radars are there, and radars are very helpful in ranging, in detecting, in identifying knowing the distances of the aeroplanes or the flying objects from that particular airport. So that type of system is called as radar system. You might have seen this type of radar system available nowadays at lot many places. This is my second important application we are going to look into detail. Third important application we are going to see is Pyroelectric Thermometer. Pyroelectric, Pyroelectric Thermometer. So what is this device? Can anyone tell me what is this device? काय उपयोग असेल या डिव्हाइसचा? It is thermometer. It measures temperature. But very speciality of this device, you might have seen this device earlier. किंवा तुम्ही अभ्यासला असेल. This device directly measures temperature of the sun sitting on the earth. म्हणजे पृथ्वीवरती बसून सूर्यासारख्या एखाद्या ऑब्जेक्टचं टेम्परेचर आपण सहज मोजू शकतो, किंवा एखाद्या आपल्याला भट्टीमध्ये आतमध्ये न जाता भट्टीचं टेम्परेचर तुम्ही या पायरोइलेक्ट्रिक थर्मोमीटरच्या सहाय्याने सहज मोजू शकता. सो देयर इज अ क्लियर कट रिलेशन बिटवीन दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक रेडिएशन्स अँड टेम्परेचर. This concept has been used by this device to measure the temperature at a distance. So we can measure a temperature of hot object which is away from us, whatever distance may be, and that is what called as pyroelectric thermometer. Now no more you are needed. किंवा तुम्ही आता पाहिलं असेल कोविडच्या काळामध्ये आपण ह्या ज्या गन वापरतो, थर्मल गन, तिथेही याच प्रकारचं प्रिन्सिपल आपण वापरतो. And this particular principle is used in this pyroelectric thermometer. More about this we'll discuss when we go for actual application of this. So this is important application. Third application is this. Third application which we are going to discuss is that is the just minute. We are going to see this X-ray radiography. For this X-ray radiography or crystallography. So using X-rays we can measure or we can detect the type of crystals, BCC, FCC, body center cubic, face center cubic, simple cubic, or any other. These type of shapes and their sizes and their intermolecular distances can be measured very nicely when these X-ray spectroscopy techniques are used. This is fourth application we are going to discuss. Number 5 is CT scan. What is the long form of this? This is called as computer tomography. This is called as CT or computer tomographical scan, that is called as CT scan. That is again a large applications in medicine as well as in industry. We are going to discuss something about this when we move further. Then next application we are going to see is sixth one, that is the solar cell. Solar cell or solar energy, generation of solar energy using this type of solar cell. So what is this particular construction working, then different types of parameters or properties of all these solar cells, that is what we are going to discuss here. Okay, so these are the only 6 different types of applications we are going to look. So try to understand the list. I am sure you like to learn all this because this is all a technology part. म्हणजे या इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक रेडिएशनचा अभ्यास केल्यानंतर वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे डिव्हाइसेस वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या सायंटिस्टनी किंवा लोकांनी तयार केले. त्याच्यातले काही डिव्हाइसेस हे सायंटिफिक ॲप्लिकेशन्स असतील. Some of the devices are basically used for commercial applications or applied applications, and therefore there is no limit. You also can design your own type of devices for different types of purposes. खूप वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारासाठी किंवा कारणासाठी आपण अशा प्रकारचे अनेक वेगवेगळे डिव्हाइसेस तयार करू शकतो, प्रोव्हाइडेड वी हॅव ए गुड नॉलेज ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम. इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम, त्याच्यातले कॉम्पोनंट, त्याच्या सगळ्या प्रॉपर्टीज याचं जर आपल्याला बऱ्यापैकी सारं नॉलेज असेल, then it is very easy to understand these type of devices. So what we have learned in last chapter, मागच्या चॅप्टर मध्ये फक्त आपण theoretical aspect पाहिला. In this chapter we are going to learn this applied approach or technological approach of all these type of applications of electromagnetic waves. Earlier chapter was theoretical, this chapter is very practical. Some of these devices may be at your home. Solar cell आपण काही ठिकाणी पाहिला असेल, हॉस्पिटल्स मध्ये सिटी स्कॅन मशीन तुम्ही पाहिलं असेल, एक्सरे क्रिस्टलोग्राफ हे कदाचित तुम्ही लॅबमध्ये पाहाल. इन आवर लॅबोरेटरी इन सेंट्रल लॅबोरेटरी फॅसिलिटेशन सेंटर इन आवर कॉलेज देयर इज ए एक्सरे स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी और एक्सरे क्रिस्टलोग्राफी मशीन इज देयर. सम ऑफ द टाइम आपण कधीतरी त्याला विजिट करूया. सो यू विल गेट एन आयडिया हाऊ दिस एक्सरे टेक्निक्स, एक्सरे क्रिस्टलोग्राफी टेक्निक इज यूज्ड टू फाइंड आउट different types of crystal structures of the element. Pyroelectric thermometer, as I said, this is another important device which is able to measure the temperature of object at a whatever distance, larger or small distance. Radar is another application you might have seen on the airport, which is in military also, in defense sector also. These radars are very widely used for detecting different types of objects which are moving in the space, as well as the microwave, one of the simplest application. That is what we are going to look into details one by one. My suggestion is that in spite of relying on me for this particular lecture, just go on reading this. If you go on reading all these particular devices from your chapter, from your textbook, it is very easy for you to understand. फक्त आता याच्यामध्ये लक्षात ठेवायचं आहे, we are going to see what is the application. जे प्रत्येक applicationचा आपण principle पाहणार आहोत. So what is its working principle? After working principle, how this particular device has been constructed. So what is its components, how it is constructed, its diagrams. Then we are going to see its working, how it works, and what are its applications, what are advantages, what are disadvantages, what are the types, etc. This typical type of pattern we are going to follow for each and every device which we have mentioned in this list of 6 different applications. So application 1, 2, 3 up to 6. All applications we are going to carry out in the same way. That is, we are going to introduce this first, then we are going to see the working principle behind that particular device. Then at the same time how it works, what are its applications, what are its advantages, disadvantages, errors, maybe causes of errors, etc. This type of discussion we are going to look into detail one by one for all this. So we give a next title for this, that is called as first application. Number 1, that is microwave oven. Microwave oven. I am sure almost all of you might have seen. काही लोकांनी बघितला नसेल, पण बऱ्याच जणांनी मायक्रोवेव्ह ओव्हन पाहिला असेल अशी मी कल्पना करतो. I assume that this type of device you might have seen. Now how this device is there, how it is constructed, how it works, etc. This is what the point of discussion today we are going to discuss in the today's discussion. So let's draw a figure along with me. माझ्या बरोबर एक figure काढा. Then at that time you will understand what is this particular figure, how to draw this. Draw a big square here. एक छोटा मोठा square काढा. That gives you, this is an outer cover of this microwave oven. Okay, and inside that there is a cavity. So there is a cavity, which has a door, त्याला एक विशिष्ट प्रकारचा डोर असतं. Show this cavity by this double line. So as to show it to be a cavity, draw these two lines there. अर्थात माझं ड्रॉइंग एवढं फार चांगलं नाही आहे अँड देयर इज मला खरं तर याच्यावरती या बोर्डवरती ड्रॉइंग काढण्याची फारशी सवय नाही आहे, त्यामुळे आपण थोडंसं प्रॉब्लेममध्ये येऊ शकतो. देन देर इज अ प्लेट इनसाइड दिस वेअर दिस पर्टिक्युलर दिस खरं तर बेस असतो, ओव्हर विच वी हॅव टू कीप सर्टन प्लेट. So plate has to be kept here. Of course, this plate is a glass plate, and in this particular glass plate, a certain food, like a cake. This food item is kept here. Okay, we are going to give a name to this, and there is one very important device here. This is what it gives microwave radiations from here. These are the microwave radiations inside this cavity. Okay. So microwaves, these are microwaves. This is food, a food item. This is glass plate. And here there is some device which is connected here. And this is called as see the shape of this is like this, shape of this is like this, which is called as the magnetron, magnetron, magnetron. This is the circuit here which generates these type of waves, or which are microwaves, from this transmitter. This is called as the point which is called as magnetron, which is connected here. And this in the cavity, this produces these type of microwaves. Waves are generated here actually. Then there is a control circuit. There are several buttons are there. This is the control circuit. Then there is a transformer. Inside this there is a used transformer is there. This is the transformer. This is the transformer. So try to understand what are these. And here this is the Owen chamber. So this is the, can give name to this. This is Owen chamber. This is the Owen chamber. Okay, so it's very easy. And from the examination point of view, I suppose that this microwave oven is the most important article. आपल्या याच्यामध्ये सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचा आर्टिकल किंवा महत्त्वाचा पॉइंट हा मायक्रोवेव्ह ओव्हनचा असू शकेल, बिकॉज डिस्क्राइबिंग इट्स वर्किंग, इट्स कन्स्ट्रक्शन, ड्रॉइंग डायग्राम एटसेट्रा इज व्हेरी व्हेरी इझी. नाउ ऑल ऑफ यू हॅव सीन दिस टाइप ऑफ मायक्रोवेव्ह ओव्हन ॲट युअर होम, किंवा काही हॉटेलमध्ये तुम्ही या प्रकारचे मायक्रोवेव्ह ओव्हन पाहिले असतील. नाउ हाऊ इट वर्क्स, व्हॉट इज दिस वर्किंग प्रिन्सिपल, that is what we are going to discuss first now. Okay, now working principle. Now there is a very great tendency, I think you might have seen this molecule which is called as H2O. H2O means there are two oxygen, one oxygen and two hydrogen. So this is H, this is H, and this is oxygen molecule. Okay, you might have drawn this particular diagram earlier. Now this molecule has a tendency to oscillate in such a manner when these microwave radiations are entering. Now microwave radiations are the electromagnetic radiations, electric and magnetic field. It changes its polarity from positive to negative, and thereby this particular molecule changes. So whenever this microwave comes into this molecule undergoes changes like this. So earlier it would be here like this in the second position, that is when this first positive part is here, this molecule may have this position, and when this second part comes here, this particular molecule goes in the shifting position, and this time it becomes, this is H, this is H, and this is O. Now this H, H and O, so this rotation or transformation or shifting of this polarity of this particular molecule, because water itself is a polar molecule. It has positive charge center as well as negative charge center, and this particular positive and negative charge center works as a dipole. Whenever this electromagnetic field or microwave electromagnetic field is applied, because of change of polarity of this electromagnetic waves, this particular molecule gets flipped from positive to negative, from negative to positive, and how many times, depending upon the frequency of this particular electromagnetic waves or its electromagnetic waves, in a number of seconds, millions or 10 million times, this particular molecule gets shifted or it gets changed its position, and thereby it causes a movement, and that movement causes a induction of the heat. So heat is generated. म्हणजे या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्डमध्ये, मायक्रोवेव्ह इलेक्ट्रिक फील्डमध्ये पाण्याचे जे मॉलिक्यूल असतील, दीज मॉलिक्यूल्स किंवा हे मॉलिक्यूल्स त्याची पोझिशन चेंज करतात. किती वेळा? एका सेकंदामध्ये लाक्षावधी वेळा, आणि त्या पर्टिक्युलर मुवमेंटमुळं देयर इज अ हीट इज इंडक्टेड अँड ऑल फूड आयटम्स विच आर कंटेन वॉटर. म्हणजे तुम्ही पाण्यामध्ये बटाटा जरी ठेवला तरी हेच होईल, किंवा एखादा ओला म्हणजे कणकेचा गोळा ठेवला आणि ती मायक्रोवेव्हमध्ये त्याच्यामध्ये पाणी असेल. सो वॉट एव्हर फूड आयटम्स विच आर कंटेनिंग वॉटर, ऑलमोस्ट आपल्याकडचे जवळपास सगळ्या फूड आयटममध्ये वॉटर असतच असतं, and this particular water molecules go on changing the polarities because of this changing electromagnetic field, and which is causing this induction of the heat, and because of that particular heat this food item gets heated and gets cooked. So cooking process is the same. Otherwise in our traditional cooking, आपण आपल्या बाकीच्या कुकिंग सिस्टीम्स मध्ये काय करतो, वी प्रोव्हाइड सर्टन हीट टू दॅट वॉटर, आणि मग त्या वॉटर हीट होतं. ॲक्च्युअली त्याला आपण फ्लेम लावतो, त्या फ्लेममुळे ते वॉटर हीट होतं. वॉटर हीट व्हायला लागलं की मग त्याच्यामध्ये आतमध्ये ही सगळ्या मुवमेंट होतात, आणि मग त्या ठिकाणचं फूड सुद्धा कुक होतं. इनस्पाइट ऑफ दॅट वी आर नॉट सपोज टू डू एनिथिंग, जस्ट कीप ए मायक्रोवेव्ह सोर्स दॅट there occurs a phenomenon of this flipping of this water molecule because of the changing electromagnetic field of microwaves, and because of that this food item gets heated and this particular material gets cooked. So food is gets cooked because of this very simple technique used here. Now there is no dust, there is no smoke, there is no flame, and all other म्हणजे या केसमध्ये ज्या केसमध्ये वॉटर आहे तेवढेच मटेरियल्स कुक होते किंवा हीट होते. ग्लास प्लेट्स and other container etc or air itself, आजूबाजूला जे एअर असेल त्या चेंबरमध्ये ती सुद्धा एअर हीट होत नाही. याचं कारण the frequency of the microwave radiations and the frequency of the water matches, and this type of phenomenon of oscillations or resonance that occurs between microwaves and water molecules only, whereas other items or other materials kept inside this oven, they do not oscillate under this type of electromagnetic waves or microwaves, and therefore these objects doesn't get heated. म्हणजे तुम्ही हात घालून त्या मायक्रोवेव्ह मध्ये काम करू शकता, कारण तिथले ऑब्जेक्ट गरम होत नाहीत, फक्त फूड जे असेल ते फूड मात्र कुक होईल. सो दिस इज वॉट वन ऑफ द व्हेरी सिम्पलेस्ट वे ऑफ प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फूड और कुकिंग ऑफ फूड, दॅट इज शोन बाय दिस सिम्पल प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर मायक्रोवेव्ह ओव्हन. सो आय थिंक
कॅपॅसिटर असतो का?
मे बी इनसाइड त्याच्या सर्किटमध्ये असेल. वी आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दॅट. So that is an electronics part, or that will be an engineering part. So what is the circuit, how it generates electricity, or how it generates microwaves, etc. We are not interested here. We are interested in the physics of that. What is physics of that? The food item which are containing the water molecules, these water molecules shift their positions frequently within 1 second of second. Millions of times this water molecule changes its shifts its locations or its polarities, and therefore heat is generated, and that heat is given to or is absorbed by the food material, and it gets cooked or gets heated and gets cooked. So very simple way of cooking of food items using this microwave oven is observed there. And how much time it is required? साधारणपणे तुम्ही आठवत असेल, बघितलं असेल तुम्ही आपल्या घरी जर तुम्ही मटण खात असाल तर मटण शिजवायला किंवा चिकन शिजवायला किमान 15-20 मिनिटं, अर्धा तास लागतो, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन युअर सिच्युएशन. Here in this case of microwaves few minutes are required. काही मिनिट्स, एक 3-4 मिनिटांमध्ये सुद्धा आपण एखादा आयटम करू शकतो. यू माइट हॅव सीन केक. तुम्ही केक मायक्रोवेव्ह मध्ये करून पहा. ओनली 1 or 2 minutes आर रिक्वायर्ड टू गेट दिस हीटिंग. म्हणजे तो थोडासा त्याला स्मेल यायला किंवा त्याला थोडासा वेगळ्या प्रकारचं त्याच्यामध्ये म्हणजे ते स्ट्रक्चर डेव्हलप करायला थोडासा वेळ लागेल. but very small time, 1 or 2 minutes are required to get this particular material gets heated and gets cooking. So this is one of the very simple method of cooking which is observed and which is found in the microwave ovens. So this is one.
ठेवत असतात ना सर याच्यामध्ये?
Okay,
हीट कशी कॉन्स्टंट ठेवतात त्याच्यामध्ये?
that is why control circuit is used for that. Heat,
ओके.
तिथं control, there is one thermometer too. So whenever temperature goes on increasing beyond limit, automatically circuit gets off and this microwave oven stops. We are not needed to do anything. आपल्याला तिथं so control circuit is there where we can control its temperature, where we can control its time and all these things. That's what I said. तुम्ही तो खोलून बघू नका. आपल्याला what is inside that, what different circuits are, this is a part of the electronics and engineers. Physicists are interested only in this phenomenon, what is happening. So what happens to this water molecule and microwaves, that is our point of interest, which generates heat. This heat is given to this particular food item and it gets heated. So this type of discussion I am going to carry out here. आता या केसमध्ये म्हणजे पुढच्या सगळ्या डिव्हाइसेसमध्ये I am not going to write anything here other than the important principles and working of that and the diagram. Remaining notes and everything you have to prepare at your home. तुम्हाला तुमच्या घरी या सगळ्या नोट्स एकदा पुन्हा व्यवस्थित वाचून काढा. ते डिव्हाइस काय काय आहे, कसं कसं आहे, कसं फंक्शनिंग करतं, काय वर्क होतं, हे सगळं तुम्हाला त्याच्या नोट्स काढायचे आहेत. अँड नाव दिस इज युअर असाइनमेंट्स. So assignment of this chapter is to prepare notes of all these. In class I am going to discuss only these type of devices at length. जेवढं शक्य होईल तेवढं आपण त्याचं मराठी इंग्रजी दोन्ही भाषांमधून डिस्कशन करूया. So you will get a basic physics or the physical idea behind these type of devices which are used and which are using this electromagnetic radiations for its working principles. So this type of discussion I am going to carry out. Otherwise it will again require 6 to 8 lectures to complete all this. And in that much time we don't have. To save our time, we will discuss with its figures and important applications there in the lecture. Otherwise, and I am preparing the YouTube of this as well. याच्या पण YouTube तुम्हाला उपलब्ध होतील. But the notes part of that, it will require a lot of time to write all the notes. In spite of that, prepare its notes of each and every device, and that will be an assignment for you people to be submitted after we finish this particular chapter. And note that these assignments will be given a certain credit there. So now I'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll go more about these things, microwave ovens and all these things. We will discuss in some other devices as well. Maybe tomorrow is an activity. Okay, just a minute. Don't move.